Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Read IO. In the last session we got the 0.1 ending of Route B, and we also saw all of the bad endings and some of the extra scenes that show up after the 0.1 ending. And now I want to pick up the others that show up earlier, and then I'm going to go back to Route A and see the extra scenes in there and its bad endings. So let's go. So here's the first one. I've made it a habit to wake up with my agent every day. It's specially made to match my character and voice. It's a little embarrassing how narcissistic that seems, but at least I'm self-aware. No, well, let's that aside for now. The real main reason I use this thing is because its creator was someone important to me. It's a precious memento. I don't know where she's gone, but whenever this agent of hers activates, it calms me down to know that we still share a bond somehow. So I guess her sister made that.
まったく、少しは本でも読んでみたらどう?
So this is where they're having the having the argument after they were trying to play Asher.
そんなこと言われても、特に読みたいと思うものなんかないしな。
必要最低限の教養くらいつけろって言ってるのよ。
そんなこと言って、ミカは何を読んでるんだよ。
私が今読んでいるのは。
Mika takes a thick pocketbook out of her handbag.
なんだこりゃ。聖杯?
Holy Grail. The Holy Grail, also known as the Sangral, is the cup used by Jesus Christ at the Last Supper and by Joseph of Arimathea at the crucifixion to catch the blood of Jesus. An important motif in Arthurian legend, this artifact serves as the objective of the knight's mission. In this context, it appears to be derivative of an artifact of Celtic mythology, a large magic kettle that resurrects the dead. The Story of the Grail by French author Chrétien de Troyes was originally left unfinished. After de Troyes' death, all authors attempting to write a serious quest for the Holy Grail have broken off of writing midway. Parsifal of German author Wolfram von Eschenbach features an order of Grail Knights modeled after a real order of church knights that existed during the Crusades. There, the Grail is regarded in the same light as the Lost Ark, passed down in Jewish and Christian folklore. This ark is a weapon with the devastating power to shoot lightning when opened, but its whereabouts were unknown, as this work was left unfinished.
フランスの詩人、クレティアン・ド・トロワの名著。アーサー王伝説と聖杯探索の物語を結びつけたのが、この陰文詩なのよ。
Oh my, Mika-chan, I understand what you're getting at, but do you really have to start off with such a heavy book? Kosuke flips through the pages and frowns, as expected.
なんだこりゃ。
実に麗しい言い回しでしょう。
そうなのか？こうも神とかカタカナの名前とか連発されると、背中がむずかゆくなるんだけど。
そう？でも仮にも騎士のハンドルを名乗ってるんだから、これとか、あと作者不詳のルフ本、聖杯探索とか必読よ。
Mika does have a point. Kosuke's handle, Equus, does indeed mean knight. I'd prefer he'd read at least one or two Night Tales. So, what'll it be, Kosuke?
ちなみに、聖杯探索の方が読み応えあるわよ。
それって、これより熱いっていう意味か？
当然。
パスパス遠慮しとく。俺には無理だわ。
Kosuke slams the book shut and thrusts it back at Mika. Ah, nuts. Guess it didn't work after all.
カタカナアレルギーなんだったら、作者が日本人の方がいいのかもしれない。
Now, I thought he had a problem with kanji. So he also has a problem with katakana. Well, okay. I get... Presumably he can read it. But it's kind of funny.
Oh!
Whoa there. Is this a new development I sense? Are things going to be different today? Go for it, Mika-chan. I'm rooting for you.
そうね。じゃあ、ニトベ稲造の武士道とかがいいんじゃないの？
え？誰それ？
まさかと思うけど、本気で言ってる？
うん。知らんぞ、そんな人。
5000円札にもなった人じゃない。
昔の話だろ？電子マネー全盛の今じゃ、紙幣自体なかなか見かけないじゃないか。
そういう問題ではなくて。
まあ、興味は惹かれるタイトルだが、活字は苦手だしな。悪いが、それもパスということで。
Ko-chan, don't you find something just a teensy bit wrong with that?
あんた、本気でバカでしょ。
バカとはなんだバカとは。
そのまんまの意味よ。それともアホがいい？ボケナスの方が雰囲気出てる？
Alrighty, guess now's about time to throw him a line.
はいはい、お疲れさん。その辺で一区切りつけて、飲み物とかどうかしら？
ありがとうございます、リーダー。相変わらず気が利きますね。
わざわざ先輩にそんな手間かけさせるなんて、すいません。私後輩失格です。ほら、コウスケも頭下げる。
Etc. And nothing else new appeared. So, I think that's it for Route B. After I do the Route A stuff, I'll probably come back and make sure there's nothing else new here. So let's go to Route A. And here's the first thing. So they're talking about, they were talking about, moons influence biotides and stuff like that. She really is a teacher, even if she's not like a normal one. Now that I think about it, wasn't the one who committed suicide one of my classmates? I've got to stop thinking about it. In the first place, it's not like I remember all the faces of my classmates. That would have been a useless act. I think the trigger was the moon's effects, just as Sensei said. The part within those people that chose death was probably not something they originally had, like deep despair, for example. But humans really can kill themselves that easily. It's one of the most traditional and simplest ways out of life, but how is it that everyone who does it manages to conquer their fear of death?
そうだな。ところで、何の話だったっけ？
バイオタイド。先生はそうおっしゃってました。その理論で言うと、満月はどうなるんですか？
Whoa. What's this? A sword? Is this not the first time I've met this man? Why is he approaching me while waving a sword at me?
かつては鬼さえも切ったこの刃、受けてみよ！
That war cry violently shakes my brain. Am I going to die? Am I going to be killed?
どこを見てる？
すいません。
The man takes his hands off the steering wheel, etc.
あれ？
Yayoi Sensei really is extremely wise about a broad variety of things. That's probably the reason I want to come here. Yeah. At that moment, something suddenly flies into my field of vision. It's as if it didn't exist up until now, and first came into existence the second I looked at Sway.
どうしたひなた。
あそこにある本は何ですか？
Several old books sit in a disorderly pile on her work desk.
ああ、メソポタミアやバビロニアの神話に関する本だな。
バビロニア？
聞いたことがないのか？
そんな、もちろん知ってますよ。世界史の最初、古代文明のあたりで習いました。聖書でもバベルの塔とか出てくるはず。
そう。メソポタミアはだいたい今のイラクに相当する地域だ。その南部がバビロニアと呼ばれる。つまりはそこで成立した神話のことだよ。
先生は神話にも興味があったんですね。
まあ、ちょっと気になることもあったんでね。
気になること？
知りたいか？それならバビロニア神話の概要を知る必要がある。
そういうのには疎いんです。
そうか？結構面白いぞ。バビロニアは日本と同じように多神教世界で神々を総称してアヌンナキという。神々の父の名がアヌだからだ。アヌンナキの統率者アヌは天空神。その息子のエンリルは中空を支配する嵐の神で、表立つことのないアヌに代わり、その権力を執行する。
天と空と。だったら、人間の住む地上は誰の管轄なんですか？
エンリルの息子にして水の神のエア。知恵の神とも呼ばれる。創世神話は、この御柱を軸として展開するんだ。
なるほど。
手が止まってるな。
ああ、すいません。
The nerves that control my hands and my ears are completely different, so it's extremely difficult to massage and listen at the same time. I clear my head and start massaging her again with more force than earlier.
素直でよろしい。きっく
先生、凝りすぎです。
私は繊細なんだ。でだ。
はい。
エンリルは多くの神々をなし、世界創造の仕事に着手させた。だが、その仕事量があまりにも膨大だったので、子供たちはストライキを起こした。
神々でもストなんかするんですか？労働組合とかないんですか？
不当な扱いを受け続ければ、誰だって抵抗くらいするだろう。だが、生みの親であるエンリルは、その犯行に怒り狂った。
強量ですね。ありていに言えばわがまま。
神なんてそんなもんだ。まあ、そこでアヌンナキは、この混乱を鎮めるため、労働を代行する存在を作り出すという裁決を下した。それに従って、エアが知恵を出して作ったのが、私たち人間だ。人間は、たちまち数を増やし、勤勉に働いたので、神々は満足した。
それで万事解決したとは思えないんですか？
そうだな。今度は人間の過剰な生産活動によって、神々はその眠りを妨げられるようになった。
人間なんて、そんなものかもしれません。
そこでエンリルは、神々の会議を招集し、人間に罰を与えようと主張した。
相変わらず無茶苦茶なんですね。
多神教における神々は、神羅万象の象徴だからな。嵐とか雷とかの自然現象に文句を言っても始まらない。そういうことだ。そこ、もう少し強く頼む。
とりあえず今の僕は、弥生先生の下僕のようですね。じゃあ、こうですか？
そうそう。
手、止めますよ。
なんでだ？気持ちよさと感謝の念を全身で表現してるつもりなのだが。
しなくていいです。それで、人類はエンリルにどんな逆恨みの罰を受けたんですか？
ほう、神話も面白かろう。
いいから先を続けてくださいよ。
わかった。さて、会議での決定通り、神々は干ばつや強風を起こし、人間を滅ぼそうとした。だがエアだけは飲み水を与えたりと災害支援を続けたため、人間はかろうじて生き延びることができた。
そんなことして、エアは大丈夫だったんですか？
そうはいかない。呪いをかけられ、以降神々の決定に反対できないようにされた。その上で、人間を滅ぼすための大洪水を起こすことも命じられた。
大洪水って、聖書にある話と一緒ですね。
そうだな。大洪水の神話は世界各地に伝わっているが、聖書の記述は明らかにこのバビロニアの創世神話を元にしている。
バイブルよりも古い神話。
他にも世界各地で大洪水の伝承が残っている。もしかしたら太古、世界はどこかで繋がっていたのかもしれない。
Just like how Yayoi Sensei and I are connected by her shoulders at the moment.
まあ話を戻すと、それでもエアは断固として洪水を起こすことを拒否したので、エンリル自身がその役割を担った。その間際、エアは自分の信者の中で最も賢き者に大洪水の予言をし、対処法を授けた。
So thanks to that, we humans survived.
しかし、人間が絶滅しなかったことを知ったエンリルは、怒り狂って父なるアヌに訴えた。ところがアヌは、エアの行動を支持したんだ。それでアヌンナキはエアの呪いを解き、再び人間を増やすことに決めたんだ。それ以来今まで、人類は数を増やし続けている。
なるほど。
Having finally made it all the way up until modern times, Yayoi Sensei's story ends. Maybe I can stop giving her this massage as well.
もうそろそろいいですか？
いや、もうちょっと。
Alright, so in this scene, this is where Midori is talking about the young noble of the Twilight, whatever that is, whoever that is.
でねでね、その目がまた素敵で、ちょっと睨まれるだけですぐクルクラーってなっちゃうくらいなんだって。メデューサじゃあるまいし。
Back then, I couldn't move, as if I had turned into stone. That man looked like he had some sort of grudge against me, didn't he? I have absolutely no clue why, but... What? What is that? Didn't get a good look. What? I instinctively glanced at Sakuya's face. Even though Sakuya is a little exasperated, she seems to be having fun talking to her friend. Same as always, nothing's changed. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Is it because I've been tired from having nothing but weird dreams recently? I try to focus on the crossword puzzle again, but this time a strange sense of uneasiness distracts me.
あれ、さくちゃん興味ないんだ。私としてはさ、なんかもうちょっとこう、本当っぽい話？そういう話を聞きたいわけ。
人はなぜ神話なんて読むんですか？所詮は作り話でしかないのに。
歴史を人間の人生に例えるなら、神話とはその人間の背景にあるもの。心理学的に言うならば、深層意識だ。
歴史の深層意識？
そう。人類全体に共通する集合的無意識。
Sounds like something from Jungian psychology.
神話を理解しなければ、歴史は同じ過ちを繰り返すだろう。自分の深層意識を正面から見ないものと同じようにね。
Am I properly facing myself?
先生。
うん。
また バビロニアの話を聞かせてもらえませんか？
The words that pass from my lips are both unexpected and expected. My deep subconscious wants to hear Sensei's stories.
わかった。じゃあ、本題の前振りということで、少し前の話を続けてみよう。
Those words bring me a strange sense of relief.
メソポタミアやバビロニアは、時代によって勢力の強かった地域が異なり、その4つの時代区分は、その地域の名から取られている。湾岸に近い都市国家時代のシュメール、上流で統一国家を成したアッカド、さらに北部で強力な帝国を築いたアッシリア。その遺発を継いだ新バビロニアだ。
なんでバビロニアだけが真なんですか？
ああ、それはアッカドが古バビロニアとも呼ばれてるからさ。両者の支配領域は似ていた。そしてアッカドには有名な創世神話がある。
How the world was created, huh? In cosmology, all the controversy about everything beginning with the Big Bang has finally settled down in recent years, but the main question at hand has remained unsolved for many years.
エヌマエリシュという女児誌の主役は、マルドゥークという風を操る神だ。
風ですか？風は中空のエンリルの属性じゃなかったですか？
エンリルはシュメールの主神だ。この神話では、後任のマルドゥークに全権を引き渡している。マルドゥークはアッカドの首都バビロンの守護者だからだ。
それってアッカドがシュメールを支配したから主神の座も交代したっていう風に聞こえるんですが。
ご名答。神話は歴史に基づいているのさ。ちなみにアッカドがシュメールを併存したことにより、この2つの地域を合わせてバビロニアと呼ぶようになった。
洪水から人間を救ったエアはどうなったんですか？
エアは創造神アヌの子。そしてマルドゥークはエアの子とされた。だから神話でも優遇されているかな。エアは淡水の神アプスを殺し、その力を奪っている。マルドゥークの方はアプスの妻にして塩水の女神ティアマトを殺した。この功績によって神々の王となったんだ。
先に淡水を、次に塩水を打ち破ったんですよね。それは上流のアッカドが湾岸のシュメール方向に順次勢力を広げ併存したことを意味しているのでは？
そう考える者もいる。考古学的な発掘が全てをはっきりさせてくれるだろうが、昔から中東は戦争が絶えなくてね、なかなか難しいよ。
She says that and lets out a cynical laugh.
ちなみにマルドゥークの息子の名はナブー。魔術を司る初期の神で、だいぶ後の時代になるが、やはり最高神となったこともあった。
マルドゥークもずっと頂点にいることはできなかった。
アッシリア時代では先の神話のマルドゥークの名は消され、代わりにアッシュールと書き込まれた。それはアッシリアの首都名であり、主神の名でもある。その後、占星術に長けたカルデア人が新バビロニアを拡大させ、結局アッシリアを飲み込んでしまった。
栄枯盛衰ですね。
このアッシュール、後にメソポタミア全土を掌握したササン朝ペルシアの主神アフラマズダーと同系の太陽神だ。両者ともマークが同じ有翼日輪だからね。
翼が生えた太陽の図案ですね。
翼は皆既日食の時に見えるコロナを視覚化したものともされているがね。ところがこの神々は日本とも決して無関係じゃない。インドの火と正義の神アスラは漢字に訳されてアシュラとなった。これもアッシュルと同系の神だ。密教の主神大日如来、これがまたアシュラ王なんだよ。
Now this is surprising.
大日如来って
To me, anyway.
奈良の大仏とかですよね。
そうだ。だから私たち日本人の深層意識を知る上でもバビロニアの神話は欠かせないということができる。
まさかそんなことがあったとは。
本当に大事なことは目には見えない。
そうですね。
人類史の深層意識に迫ったところで、今度は君の 深層意識に立ち向かってみるとしようか。
So Yayoi Sensei really did see that I was trying to deceive my own heart.
心の中に溜まってることを話してくれるんじゃなかったか？私だけ喋りっぱなしってのもフェアじゃないと思うがね。
Although she says that, it doesn't really look like Sensei has any problems with talking about her own stories. I have deep worries about myself, one of which is...
僕はシスコンなんでしょうか？
etc. Whoa. What was that just now? There was someone white there, but the rabbit wasn't white. That white someone was leading the rabbit away. It can't be that this is my Alice in Wonderland. That's impossible. Have I just gone nuts or something? I shake my head in order to chase off these idiotic thoughts.
ほほう、こんなとこでもナンパなんかしてるわけね。そういえば、この公園だったよね。懐かしいな。
何が？
むつきちゃんによくアリスごっこしようってせがまれたの。
Alice in Tagland?
何それ？
ほら、むつきちゃん、不思議の国のアリスが大好きだったでしょ？今の女の子とウサギを見たら思い出しちゃったんだけど。
ああ、うん。
That hallucination from earlier replays in my mind. Memories that I'd completely locked away in my mind up until now are faintly resurrecting along with pain.
一人がウサギになって、遅れちゃう遅れちゃうって言いながら逃げて、もう一人がアリスになってウサギさんを捕まえるんだよ。
それってただの二人鬼ごっこじゃない？
違う違う、基本はかくれんぼの方だよ。アリスの姿が見えなくなったらウサギは隠れていいんだ。相手を捕まえるか見つけるかしたら必ず問答をするの。なぞなぞでもいいんだけど、それにアリスが答えられなかったらウサギはまた逃げられる。もう一つ普通のかくれんぼと違う点は、隠れる方、ウサギがアリスを驚かすこともできるの。この場合ウサギが問答を仕掛けるんだ。
そうだったかな。よく覚えてないよ。
No, even if you puff out your cheeks like that, it won't make me remember any better.
そうだ、もう一回やってみればいいんだよ。私がウサギ、ひなたはアリスね。逃げていい範囲は公園内で。
ちょっと。
それじゃあ懐中時計を取り出して。
She says that, but what she actually takes out of her bag is her cell phone.
これで準備完了。いくよ。
おい、何もやるなんて。
よーい、ドン。もう遅れちゃう遅れちゃう。
Sakura suddenly starts running. Those two wavering ponytails of hers certainly do remind me of a rabbit. I stand there dumbfounded for a short time.
ほら、ぼーっとしてないでよ。置いていっちゃうよ。
Sakura stops a bit of ways ahead of me and looks towards me. Left behind. No, never.
待て、サクヤ！
I start running.
早くしないと先に行っちゃうからね。
With a sweet smile, Sakura rushes away like an Olympic sprinter. She's unbelievably fast.
こっちだよ。
Damn it, I'll definitely catch you. Geez, just where did she go? The places to hide around here would be in the playground, in the shadow of the buildings, and in the bushes. But Sakura is so fast, she disappears almost instantly. If I'm not careful, I'll be left in the dust. Should I just give up? No, I'm not just going to give in that easily. Sakura is making a fool out of me. I can no longer call this a game.
うわっ！
考え事しながら歩いてちゃダメだよ。
Sakura was hiding in the grass right over there. I didn't notice her presence at all.
アリスを見つけたのは私だから、問題を出します。
When I see that smile of hers, my head is filled with thoughts of, you're still playing along with this? But strangely enough, I'm also thinking, this much is fine at the same time.
地面に生えるウサギさんってなんだ？
なんだそれ。
I tried thinking. A trillion rabbits in one? There's no such thing like that, is there? Or wait, maybe it's a trick question? In that case, the answer is...
正解はそんなもんいないだ。
ブッブー、正解はウサギ肉。葉っぱの伸びる様子がウサギの耳のようだからそう名付けられたんだよ。
That's kind of funny.
っていうか、それってただの雑学クイズじゃないか？
じゃあ10数えるまでそこ動かないでね。遅れちゃう。
なあ、
Sakuya starts running again.
10、9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1、
This is so frustrating.
0。よし、今度こそ。
I chase Sakuya once again. You won't get away, not this time.
ひなたみーっけ。ひなた、またみーっけ。
なあ、さくや、もう勘弁してくれないか？
仕方ないな。
In the end, I throw the towel. Even so, it's been a long time since I got exercise, so I'm not feeling too bad. Rather, I feel refreshed. And so I head back home while walking through the darkening city.
ひなたはむつきちゃんが竹取物語のかぐや姫のように月からやってきた特別な人間とでも思ってるの？だから月へ帰ったとでも？
Wait, what's Okay. Well, this is, kind of a strange thing to say.
そんなわけないよ。僕と一緒に生まれ、一緒に育ったんだから。
And besides, I promised her that I definitely would not give her any special treatment.
それなら必ず見つけられるよ。
なんだか言ってることが無茶苦茶な気がするんだけど。
こういうのは意気込みが大事なの。
そうかな。
Sakuya gives me a big nod and points her index finger at me.
いい？むつきちゃんは私にとっても幼馴染なの。親友なの。だから私はこの連休中、むつきちゃんを探すから。
By whatever means necessary. Now that I think about it, I might not have had that assertiveness. Rather, I was looking for a reason not to go seeking Mutsuki. I'm sure that's why I ended up like this. Fair is foul, and foul is fair. That was the beginning of the famous charm spoken by the three witches in Shakespeare's Macbeth. I clearly remember reading it in 9th grade. If I were to rephrase that part in arbitrary terms, then what's fair and what's foul is subjective, and there's no clear dividing line between them. The witch's charm restrained Macbeth's reason and unconsciously forced the strong poison of desire into his mind, stimulating him to action. Macbeth's desire grew more and more, and he first killed King Duncan so he himself could become king. But no matter how much he insisted it was fair, he couldn't deceive his heart. As a result of what he started, Macbeth lost the ability to trust the people around him and gradually began a political purge. And finally, he brought about his own ruin. Consciously, Macbeth, who continued to make excuses, could never acknowledge his sins, even to the bitter end, but his unconsciousness continued to blame him, thus leading him to his tragic demise. Long ago in 5th century BC Greece, the same theme also unfolded in the poem Hippolytus by Euripides. Hippolytus, the son of King Theseus of Athens, adored Artemis, the guardian goddess, and scorned Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Aphrodite would not permit this disgrace, and thus implanted and awakened deep love for Hippolytus in his stepmother, Phaedra. Phaedra, who was worried about the conflict between her passions and social mores, took her own life. When he learned of this, Theseus cursed and killed his son. This paralleled the dynamic between Aphrodite's extreme desire and Artemis's extreme restraint. When the equilibrium between their antagonism crumbled, humans turned towards destruction. It's not just Macbeth and Phaedra. Everyone has a struggle between their desires and self-control, between their wishes and reality. The witches that lead people to destruction sleep within every single one of us humans. I need to face reality, and at the very least, I must make it clear whether Mutsuki is alive or dead. For this purpose, I must act. Etc. Huh.
君は
シュメールとかバビロニアとかメソポタミアとか、今のイラクあたりの中東の神話だけど。
Huh? So Oriental mythology is the kind of mythology Yayoi Sensei was talking about? Is this really all just an odd coincidence? If it's not, then does Yayoi Sensei know something about Mutsuki? I might be thinking too much about this. In the first place, wait, just how is this related to our search for the password, etc.? My field of vision suddenly seems to clear at these words. Suddenly seems to clear at these words. I feel like I saw something. Is this like what you meant by saying something invisible? I want you to tell me, Mutsuki. After that, I return my gaze to the book I was reading. When I do, I find some interesting information.
神はシュメールでは何なる、または何なと呼ばれていた。意味は輝くものである。
あれ？気づいちゃった？
Sakuya giggles.
確か、昨夜のウサギの名前って。
ナナ。そうよ。ナンナルから取ったの。でも呼びにくいから短くしてナナ。いいなでしょ？
Huh. So I was right about that. Mutsuki named her stuffed rabbit Moon Bunny, and the name of Saku's rabbit also came from the moon goddess. Talk about an extreme coincidence.
7。じゃあ、昨夜は最初からバビロニアやシュメールの神話のことを知ってたの？
正確に言うと、なんとなく覚えてたの。シャマシュって何度か聞いたことがあるなーって。
そうなの？
うちのお父さん、私が小さい頃からシャマシュとかイシュタルとか、そういう名前をよく口にしてたんだ。今思えば、全部バビロニアの神の名だったのよね。
なんで川原のおじさんが？
なんだか仕事に関係してたみたい。同僚のハンドルとかだったかな。その時、確かにシンっていう名前も聞いた気がする。
Yeah.
昨夜、そんな大事なこと、なんで今まで黙ってたの？
だから、なんとなくでしか覚えてないのよ。5歳ぐらいの時、私事故に遭ったでしょ？そのせいで記憶が少しおかしいの。それは今でもそうだから。
Huh. An accident. Is it really an accident? I wonder.
そうなのか。
It feels like there's a line that connects all the facts. I want to find it because the definite truth is beyond the end of that line. Hmm.
こんな時間、ここへ来たの初めてかも。
僕は、
That woman named Anu who's talking to that unknown person is...
何ですって？
I instinctively
それは
gasp.
どういうことなの？
I instinctively gasp. Yayoi Sensei is Anu? She didn't give any signs of it a few days ago, back when she told me about Babylonian mythology. But she really is connected to all of this, isn't she? Why didn't she say anything, even though she knew? Did she think that it would be pointless because I'm a kid? Or did she try to subtly inform me? Come to think of it, she spoke ambiguously back then, but it seemed like she had some sort of goal, and that there was something she wanted to look into. But just what was it? I don't know, but I realize my hands are clenched into fists.
あれは偶然ネットでの接触によって喚起された程度のものではない。裏がある。
あの人って
Sakio tries to say something.
強情だな。
Left me trapped in a cage full of mysteries.
忘れられません。
強情だな。
先生は、ムツキの居場所を知ってるんじゃないですか。
いや、知らない。
本当ですか。
ああ、少なくとも、現在はわからない。
そんな。だったら、知っている人とか、手がかりになることだけでもいいから教えてください。
I firmly stare at Yayoi Sensei. For the most part, she seems the exact same as always, but her eyebrows are faintly pressing in on each other. Is the flare in her eyes anger, or is it bewilderment?
行為にだってプライベートはある。
それは。
ひなたがもう少し大人になったら話す。そういう約束だ。違ったか？
Let's see. Huh.
ほら、ここ。
What's written there is a description about Anu. At the very least, from what I can see from this, I don't think Yayoi Sensei was lying to me.
ありがとう、咲夜。おかげで少し心が軽くなったよ。
I really do mean every word I said.
とすれば。
ああ、少なくとも、現在はわからない。
There's no doubt that Sensei and Mutsuki were acquaintances in the past.
やっぱりバビロンに何か、僕たちの知らない秘密が隠されてるみたいだ。
そうだよね。この一致は偶然と思えないもん。
Sakyo nods to herself.
何か、いろんな筋道が見えてきた。まだまだ先は長いかもしれないけど、その糸口はつかめた気がするんだ。ウサギ好きなのはわかるけど、なんでそこまでこだわるの？
Let's see. Okay, so she's fixing food. While I was eating dinner, Sakyo has been stuffing her face with peeled apples, made to be shaped like rabbits.
ウサギ好きなのはわかるけど、なんでそこまでこだわるの？
幸せを運んでくれるかもしれないから。
Oh, there's that thing.
なんでよ。
ひなたは稲葉の白ウサギの話は知らないの？
それって確か、ワニだかサメだかを騙して海を渡ったけど、最後に嘘だとバレて、生皮を剥がされちゃったウサギの話だよね。
うん、そうなんだけど、それには続きがあるの。
はあ、そう。
全身痛くて苦しんでいたところ、後に出雲の大国主となる神が治療してくれたので、ウサギはあなたが天下を取るでしょうという予言をしたの。
なるほどね。
その予言に従って大国主は冥界へ行き、ただ生還するだけでなく魔法のアイテムや愛する奥さんまで見つけてきたの。だから
だから何？
Just then, Sakyo's cheeks suddenly swell and her mouth shuts.
もういいの、病人は寝てなさい。
そうする。
さくやちゃん特製の風邪によく効くお薬ですよ。
we've returned to Babylon, we fuse together. If that kind of shadow is self-consciousness, then to them they are the real deal, and Babylon is the real world, and the players are characters summoned from a parallel universe to possess them. It's a world that lies beyond the mirror. For all I know, that might be wrong, but I feel like I'm slowly beginning to understand why Mutsuki chose the charm of an innovative job managing Babylon. Incidentally, afterwards I looked up the word Io online and found a variety of interesting parallels between Io, the moon, history, and mythology. Babylon uses the names of various Middle Eastern gods and goddesses, and Io is the name of a goddess. Clearly, they had her in mind as well when they named the Io system. In English, it's pronounced Io, but in Greek, it's pronounced Io, yes. That was the name of a Greek woman in one anecdote. The queen of Argos was courted by Zeus and became his mistress. But then the goddess Hera, Zeus's wife, discovered the location of their rendezvous. Zeus immediately transformed Io into a cow in an attempt to fool Hera, but Hera saw through the deception and angrily demanded the cow be delivered to her. She then tied the cow to a tree so Io could never commit such insolence ever again, and sent a 100-eyed giant to watch over the land of Argos. Before long, Io was freed by one of Zeus's servants and escaped. Enraged, Hera sent a giant gadfly to chase after and sting Io to cause her great pain. As she was continuously pursued by the gadfly, Io crossed the sea and ran all the way from Turkey through the Middle East to Egypt. There she finally collapsed from exhaustion. At the last moment, she was finally forgiven in exchange for promising that she would never have an affair with Zeus ever again. Io settled down in Egypt, where she gave birth to Zeus's son, Epaphus. He later became the pharaoh of Egypt. This is the commonly told myth, but there's another side to it. Homer, a famous poet born in Ionia, called Io the cow-eyed Hera. In other words, Io was originally a different aspect of the goddess Hera's being. The Greek-Roman era myth transcribers tailored Io to be a different being than Hera, making her one of Zeus's countless lovers. But apart from being the same goddess, Hera's jealousy towards Io was a myth created as a result of the patriarchal society's influence at the time. Another interesting thing about the original myth, Io originally meant moon. The Ionians had a tradition where they gave their mothers a white cow, in other words, a goddess. In ancient times, cows, who were associated with crescent moons because of their horns, were widely hailed as creatures which brought fertility to women. Egypt, where Io arrived at, was once known as Kemet, which meant country of the moon. The Egyptians offered their first prayers up to the moon, which they worshipped. The Babylonians of Mesopotamia felt the moon was superior to the sun. In Central Asia, it's said that the moon is the goddess's mirror that reflects the whole world. From the Qin to the Han dynasties, there was a race of people who were known as the Yue, which in Chinese means moon. The word Yue might have come from the same word as Io. The Yuezhi, Big Moon tribe, established a country beyond modern-day Afghanistan. The Yumizukis, Arched Moon, of Japan, seemed to be a branch of them. Amongst Gnostics, heretics of Christianity, there's a sect known as the Gnostians who worship snakes, which they thought to be primordial beings known as the heavenly horn of the moon. According to Moses Maimonides, the 12th century Jewish theologist, worshipping the moon was said to be the religion of Adam. There's also been theories that the Stonehenge in England was built to match up with the lunar cycle instead of the sun. Io being chased all over the world by the gadfly. Her wandering the world can be used to explain the various worships of white moons or cows found everywhere. But why was the moon worshipped? One reason could be that it shines brightly in the sunless night. Furthermore, there were goddesses of prosperity associated with it. The ancient Roman biographer Plutarch left behind a writing that said, Egyptian clergymen have named the moon the mother of space. It was thought that the moon brings moisture, shines conception-enhancing light, accelerates the birth of living creatures, and enhances the fruitification of vegetation. That kind of reminds me of the biotide theory Yayoi Sensei told me, how tidal forces from astronomical bodies, particularly those from the moon, affect humans. Science and mythology, so intellectual yet so dreamlike. Both sides seem to reveal the functions of the moon, so it really does feel like the moon has some sort of power. It reigned in cyberspace as well. It was a spurious natural phenomenon caused by the admins, whom you could call gods in that matter. But every single drop that hit me felt so cold, so real, etc.
一人がウサギになって、遅れちゃう遅れちゃうって言いながら逃げて、もう一人がアリスになってウサギさんを捕まえるんだよ。
Those nostalgic lines and memories run within my mind. Shamash's password was from a passage in Alice in Wonderland, if that's the case. And that's all, but that was quite a bit of, well, mostly of mythology. I'm not sure, what the point of, giving all that extra information is, but... Alright, now I'm going to check Route B. No, wait. I'm forgetting I need to, let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get the bad endings on this route, on Route A. Well, I don't know, it feels like I can't get the bad endings right now. Maybe it's just some other combination of choices, but I don't think so. Alright, so yeah, last thing, gonna go to Route B again and see if anything new pops up. Probably not, but... Well, nothing new appeared, so I guess that's it for this session. Yeah, I think next time start on Route C. So until then, goodbye.